guys, it is Jen, your true crime psychic investigator. Today, I want to bring to you guys' attention a couple things that I've come across in doing some research and some meditating on the Idaho 4 case. This could prove to be very, very, very important and help creating a profile and identifying the suspect who killed these students, and also possibly help us put together a motive and further help us get justice for these victims and their families and get this person off the streets. So there's a couple things I want to mention to you guys. I also want to talk about the fraternity, the Sigma Chi, or Chi, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, and what they have to do with some of the information that has been coming through since the beginning and what I'm picking up on. So without further ado, let's get started. I also pulled cards from another deck. It's called the Deck of Many Things. It is from the Dungeons and Dragons game. However, I use it for divination purposes. And what I'm seeing in the cards there is very much aligning with everything else that's coming through. So I'll show you guys the cards from that deck. We have the Fool card. And this is from the Deck of Many Things, guys. Okay, and here you see I'm going to pronounce this wrong probably too, the Vizier card, and this is like a visionary person who would guide, like the king over the people, help advise them, if you will. Flames, again, I keep seeing fire energy coming up in the cards repeatedly. I'm still trying to figure out what that ties to, other than definitely fueled by passion, desire. I think it's something more than that. You guys help leave me a comment if you have an idea. Balance, I think this person has taken it upon themselves to cleanse the world, if you will, of what they see unclean and unfit. They're like the Punisher, if you will, the judge, self-ordained. The Void, this is to do with banishing, making things cease to exist, making things go away. And again, these cards are typically played in the Dungeons and Dragons game. And I don't know much about that game. I've not really played that or got into it. I just bought the deck for divination purposes. I thought it was a cool deck. So yeah, you have the Void. You have the Void. That can also be like the lack of subconscious, a conscious type scenario. The Idiot, this person you see is completely blind to reality or blind to danger. You see their eyes are covered. They're refusing to see. We got the Key card. This has to do with letting me know there is very important information here, messages Spirit is trying to tell us, information that will help us find the killer, the person responsible for the Idaho 4 quadruple homicide at Iowa University. Such a horrific thing to have occurred. The town is completely shaken and living in fear. The police, I understand, have been back and forth about whether or not this is an isolated event and was targeted. Someone there was targeted, or if there's a serial killer that is out roaming the streets. So this is what I'm getting. I'm sharing everything. With philosophy coming in mind to me, reoccurring, this is why I chose a Literary Witch's Oracle. Alright guys, so the cards I got from the Literary Witch's Oracle deck were as follows. I got the Skull card, This has to do with transformation and death. Yeah, the changing of cycles, the end of life, possibly could be a rebirth. Gosh. Alright, the next card I got, like I said, was Rebellion, and this again is to do with someone who's an oath breaker, someone who is very rebellious in nature. I also see them not fitting in and being cast out. So I feel like this person was involved in a group and was shunned or cast out of the group for some reason. The next card I got, this is, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Alright, I'm going to pronounce this one wrong, Sepho. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. I apologize. And card is marked Love. And I just want to read you a little bit about her and her role in literature. Anyways, screw the book. She was like before Plato and Homer. She was like, it's called the 10th Muse, and she was famous for writing sexual poetry. So, yeah, very interesting tidbit. And at that time, it was considered like taboo, homoerotic poetry. That's what they call it. So yeah, there's a few keywords to go along with this card. Hang on just a sec. Alright, so a fun fact too. Okay, yeah. Her poems talked about bittersweet love between women. All of her works mainly have been lost to fire, time, and religious disapproval. Only a few fragments of her work even remain. And she was this ancient Greek poet, homoerotic poet, 10th Muse, as she's called. I found that very fascinating as well. I was saying about the fraternity being a literary society, and fire also was a big clue for me. Go on to the next card. The next card we got is, this is from the Witches Tools. If you see a person, those are considered witches in literature. So each one has a different story, you know, and how they got there kind of thing. An energy that they symbolize. So there we have teacup. This has to do with ease, rest, or possibly someone being small-minded. You know, I think this is very important. It may be very telling of the person that we're looking for, and kind of their perspective and outlook on things. Okay, ironically, I said perspective. The next card that I got is Gertrude Stein. Perspective is the card. Interesting, right? It looks like he has a letter there, and a rose. Okay. This has to do with making sense. It also can have to do... The next card was perspective. And Gertrude Stein is the witch here. And you see a love letter, a rose, and a woman like reaching out from the mirror. Or a picture that's kind of weird. Also a bird in a cage. And this has to do with seeing things a new way. Maybe a new world order, a new a new list of rules to live by kind of thing. It's right and wrong, a new outlook. The next card was the cat, the black cat. This has to do with untamed. It has to also do with watching and someone being self-owned, if you will. I do see the perpetrator watching their victims and a large amount of time before this happened. He knew the house, he knew everything, was very familiar to him. Alright, the next card we got is, we got the house card, we got the milk card, and we got elixir. Alright, so with the house card, I do see, like I said, this person was very, knew their knew the house. They knew the layout. I think they've even been there before. I also believe it could possibly have ties to a person associated with the schoolhouse or the school, the college, or better yet, the fraternity. Even possibly, maybe someone that used to be in was a member and then, like I said, was cast out. That's what I really pick up on and shunned. The milk card. The milk card talks about, this is from the Witch's Tools, nourishment, parents, or even nostalgia. Okay, so yeah, maybe this person is like a second generation fraternity person, or was, or maybe even 3 generations. I don't know. Elixir. This has to do with health, toxicity, and attending. If you're going out to have drinks, you're going out to a party, that kind of thing. Could also mean possibly poisoning. I don't think that's the case here. But it could have to do with that. It has to do with that also. All right. Next cards we got, these are 2 of the Witch's Tools. The Moon. This has to do with surrendering, mystery, and looming change. Also is about secrecy, things being done in the dark. Also, the Wolf. The Wolf card is the self without others. It can also mean a calling. Like this person may believe they were destined to carry out their evil works, or their works. And maybe to them it doesn't seem evil. Maybe it seems right. The next card is Sandra Cineras, The Body. Also female literature icon or well-known person, the history of literature. And the body has to do with joys of the senses, sorrows of the body, and just the senses. All right, the next cards, we have the praying mantis. That's what I'm saying. This person is a predator. They sought out and staked out their prey. It has to do with wit, manipulation, and fun. I do see this person enjoying this act, this horrific thing that occurred. He enjoyed himself. I do feel that. Transformation has to do with mask, becoming, and play. Yeah, look at the outfit. Soul Sisters, I believe it was Miss Rhonda, Crystal Medicine, said the person dressed in specific clothing. Yeah, this has to do with mask, becoming something else, and play. Yeah, I believe, I keep hearing game over, like this is a game to them. The next card is Mary Shelley. Has to do with loss, memory of, here lies. Mary Shelley loss has to do with cycle of life, transitions, attachments, and basically, like, it's an energy. I guess most of her, the lesson here is like her literature message is like a Frankenstein story. Like what happens when shunned and abandoned children, what happens to them, who they become, that kind of energy. Okay, the next card is the Soul, and the last card I got was the Spider. Okay, so with the Soul card, this is Emily Dickinson. You see her with the black cat, the watching cat. Has to do with spiritual life, the inner world, and the unknown, okay? That's what this has to do with. So this is like dark spirituality. That's what I'm picking up on. The Spider, and this has to do with focus, setting an intention, planning, and digesting. Yeah, this person planned this out. They set their mark and carefully planned this out. 100%. Will he kill again? I don't know. I'm going to continue to work this case. If there's any information I can share, I definitely will. Okay, so about the fraternity house. Yeah, basically, like I was saying, I do pick up poetry, type person. I do feel it's someone who once belonged to an organization like a fraternity type group. Also want to tell you, yeah, so basically Sigma Chi is the 22nd letter in the Greek alphabet, the word Chi or Chi. So the word Chi is used elusively for unknown person, something unknown. Is also the 22nd star in a constellation. It has to do with the vital life force that exists in everything, or energy. It's a definition of a life force or energy. The energy that makes things, gives them life. I could see that being really philosophical and pretty deep. Alright guys, so also Sigma Chi or Chi is a literary society based fraternity, which apparently most of them are. I do a lot of research on things and things I don't know or understand. I try to look into, and then I use that along with my intuition and some intuitive reasoning. Usually you can come up with a pretty good idea of what the heck's going on or what Spirit's trying to tell you. That's kind of my crazy psychic formula, so, for truth. Alright guys, I know full moon, so the veil is very thin. So guys, today the moon is 97% full and 12 days old. So the veil is thinning. It's the perfect time to do this type of intuitive investigative work. So I'm going to be cramming in as many reads and information on my cases as I can get. Alright guys, light and love. Namaste.